Hey everybody, this is Eric Worre and welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. Today I want to talk to you about what might be a touchy subject. As you find yourself involved in network marketing, there are three different stages, maybe more than three, but at least three different stages of growth that companies go through. And one stage is launch, momentum, or just kind of getting started. And the getting started can kind of be fun, but it's also challenging. It's got its pros and cons. Another stage is you could be flat. You could be in a company that does not have momentum. It might just be kind of cruise control. And every company goes through a stage like that. Another stage could be downward momentum. The company overall might have some challenge, some different issue, some people leaving the company, going to other companies. So whether you have momentum, you're flat, or you have negative momentum, and guess what? If you take a look at all the great companies, all of them have experienced all three. Every single one. But what I tend to see a lot with a lot of my friends in network marketing is they get addicted to the momentum phase. And if they're ever out of momentum phase, they're immediately unhappy. And they start to, just like an addict who has a need for the adrenaline, they start to look around and say, well, I gotta go find the next place. Maybe the company that's taking a lot of my distributors right now because they're unhappy. Maybe that's where I need to go because I'll get right back into that growth phase. Maybe I need to do that. Maybe the company's not in momentum, they're just flat and it's not as exciting. There isn't as much drama. There isn't as much action. But here's what I will tell you. Here's what great leaders do. Great leaders understand that they will always go through all the phases. There will be times when it's growing. There will be times when it's flattened out. There'll be times when they have to deal with adversity. And you've got to decide, are you going to be the leader that drives a company out of negative momentum and maybe into kind of stabilization? Are you going to be a leader that's strong enough to take a company that's stable or negative and turning a corner? Or are you going to be the person that always, kind of like a teenager, always has to have excitement and always will have to only be in a place where that has positive momentum? If that's true, if you only have to be here, that's the only kind of company that you can be involved in, you're going to be bouncing a lot. You're going to be going from company to company to company to company a lot over the course of your career. You might find some of the people that are really addicted to this, they have an average life cycle of maybe a year in a company. If it flattens out, they're bored, they're off to something else. And they never really get the equity of, number one, equity of the long-term effect of their organization, or the equity of the relationships that they build inside of that organization. It never has a chance to really fully mature. I'm not saying there aren't times when you need to make a move. There are some times that you need to make a move. But don't let it be for a flat line or maybe a temporary negative dip that causes you to feel the need to find the adrenaline again. Grown-up, mature leaders understand they've got to go through these different phases. And you got to make a decision. What kind of a leader are you going to be? Are you going to be a longer-term leader that helps to affect change inside the organization? Or you just throw up your shoulders and say, well, the company's not in momentum, so I guess I got to go. Now understand, the companies that are in momentum, they're always going to be pointing to the companies that are flatlined or maybe like this temporarily, and they're going to say, well, I guess it's not working over there. Come over here, because it's fun over here. Everything we're touching is turning to gold. But I've been around long enough to know this. If you go back 5 or 6 years ago, 7 years ago, there was several companies, massive momentum. And today they're not in the same kind of momentum because a lot of people once it flattened out or it went here, they dove off to other places. There's companies today that are in momentum, and I'm happy for them. I want them to be in momentum. It's good for the profession. Just so long as the people that are involved there, while it's a bright, shiny penny, don't dive out when it's not a bright, shiny penny. The great billion-dollar companies in our profession were built on people who stayed the course, and they were mature enough to be a part of the solution in all the different phases of growth. Okay? So anyway, I'm just seeing it a lot, you know, and it's a recurring theme for the last 25 plus years. The people addicted to the rush of something fresh versus the work. And one other thing that I have to tell you, if you're a leader in a company that's flat or in decline at the moment, there's one thing that you need to do instead of complaining about it or looking around and checking your options. What you need to do is put your head down, do a 90-day game plan again, bring in 20 plus people in a short period of time again, have, you know, those 20 turn into 12, turn into 8, turn into 4 solid leaders, over the long term turn into 2 more solid leaders that drive your growth again. If you're flat or in decline, most of the time the leaders aren't doing what they did when the company was in momentum. They're just not. They're hoping for things to change, and they're sitting back and saying, well, I want my residual income to just keep going up for forever. That's not how it works, folks. Occasionally, you've got to put your head down and bring in a fresh class, the class of 2014, the class of 2015, the class of 2016, and grow that group, okay? So there is no grass greener type of situation on the other side of the fence when it comes to momentum. I hope if you're dealing with this issue, if you're in momentum, have the maturity to understand it's not going to be forever. If you're flatlined, understand that you need to be part of the solution. If you're in decline, understand that you need to be part of the solution, okay? We have a great profession. It's a bummer sometimes when we take shots at each other based upon what particular stage we happen to be in at the moment, because go fast forward a couple years and all the roles have changed yet again. So hope you got value from that. And ladies and gentlemen, my wish for you is that you decide to become a network marketing professional. You decide to go pro, because it is a stone cold fact that we have a better way. Now let's go tell the world. Everybody have a great day. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.